Good evening, this is Brother Bro here, coming to you from the Cannes Film Festival, and it's time to review The Girl with the Needle. This is one of the first films to premiere in competition at Cannes, and it's been mentioned quite a bit by people around the festival as being one of their favorites, and I'm gonna agree that I think this is one of the strongest films I've seen here so far. The film is about a young factory worker who finds herself pregnant and abandoned while striving to climb out of poverty in post-World War I Copenhagen. And this is a very bleak, incredibly dark film in both subject matter and tone. Even though this film would be most aptly described as a drama, cinematography evokes gothic horror in the way that it silhouettes some characters, in the way that it seems to prescribe the role of monster towards some individuals in a way that is very thematically resonant. You know, the film at a deeper level appears to be about monsters that are created out of economic strife. And it's very much about desperation and the lengths that people will go just to survive when the economy has absolutely tanked, or when just survival through basic rudimentary jobs is not quite enough. And in this situation, it is certainly not enough to raise a child. And it presents no rosy-eyed portrait of what motherhood must have looked like during that time. There's an ongoing discussion in modern day about the struggles of being a mother that are often not talked about as openly. It seems like this taboo subject to approach, where obviously it suppresses your freedom, but it can do so to such a stifling extent that people can spiral into depression. They can, go as far to say that they regret having the child at all. And these are like real feelings that I think we should listen to. And certainly doesn't have this like fundamental view that our society wants us to have about motherhood, which is that it's just like this instinct that you inherit. But this subject, like historically, is not often explored. And with another horror sensibility, this film explores taboo around being a mother and not wanting your child. The film very centrally is about the monster we fear inside of us, and I guess us, I'm like referring to women, when we don't love or simply don't think we can provide love to our baby. And I think insightfully in the film, this monster is externalized and we push that monster into somebody or something else. But the reason a monster is created from it is not because it's monstrous to have those thoughts, it's because repressing those thoughts creates the monster. And I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't wanna like explain why that makes sense in the movie. All that is to say that I admired the film for tackling a very taboo and difficult subject. And I think it has the power to evolve our conversation around this subject, if only to make some people feel understood and not like monsters for having thoughts about like regret or wanting to not give birth or keep a baby. The direction here from Magnus von Horn is absolutely captivating. His ability to set tone and atmosphere is masterful, and I love that he draws on gothic horror cinematography tropes. Every frame is just so dripping with dread, and there are many memorable images, especially ones that like play with shadow and light. The two lead performances are excellent here. There's Vic Carmen-Son, who just expresses so much in her quiet suffering, and often just like the vacancy of her stare communicates volumes. Then there's Trine Dernholm, who plays the adoption agent who's working sort of underground to find babies a new home. And her character is very complex, also similarly tortured, but kind of deals with it in another way. And I thought she was fantastic, especially in like a courtroom scene towards the end. This film also might have the best score of any Cannes film I'll see at this festival, from Friederike Hofmeier. Just the way that it creaks and groans and creates an absolutely haunting tone. Really memorable, and I'm looking forward to seeing it on Spotify. There were some older women sitting next to me, kind of like covering their eyes and just not enjoying the film because it is kind of gross at parts and it is disturbing. So, viewer beware. If you can get down with a really feel bad and ugly and gross film, I would recommend this one. It's an excellent example of strong direction and cinematography, and I also think it has substance and depth, so I would give this one an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Have you ever poked yourself with a needle and made you say, ouch?